Hello and welcome to a new vlog and trip report. We are in the UK again. We're in England and we're taking a look at the Avocet Line, which runs from Exeter to Exmouth. And here on the map you can see our route today, which will bring us from Exeter St. David's to Exmouth and then back to Exeter Central. And now we can take a look at the arrival of my train here at Exeter St. David's. So as you can see, my train is another train of the class 150, which we have already seen in my last video. And here we are leaving Exeter St. David's and now we're going steeply uphill to Exeter Central. The train was coming from Paynton, therefore it was already quite busy, but most passengers were leaving in Exeter Central. But the train got busy again. A lot of passengers were boarding the train here at Exeter Central again. We're then going through the suburban areas of Exeter. We have stops at St. James's Park, Poleslow Bridge, Digby and Sowton, Newcourt and Topsham, and after Topsham we're then reaching the Exe River estuary, and then the route is gonna get very spectacular. It is named after the pied avocet, a bird which lives in the estuary and can be seen there regularly. It's also part of the logo of the railway line, so exactly the same like at the Tarka line and the Dartmoor line. Also the Avocet Line is used also for touristic reasons, and it's easy to see why as soon as we're leaving Topsham, because we're then crossing a small river and then we are reaching the estuary. And as you can see, it looks extremely beautiful, especially during this wonderful sunset. We're now following the estuary all the way to the end. So the estuary, this is the area where the water of the River Exe and the water of the North Sea are mixing. So this is the end of the River Exe, and we are now following the water almost on the whole length of the line to Exmouth now. At some parts it even feels like we are on a ship as we are extremely close to the water. We have a few more stops in between. The most interesting one is Limestone Commando, which serves the Commando Training Center of the Royal Marines. It used to be a station which you can only access if you have a business with a training center, but nowadays apparently everybody's allowed to leave the train here as there is also a footpath. And as always, I'm apologizing if I'm pronouncing any names wrong, as I'm not British, I'm German, but I'm trying my best. So here we can see the beautiful sunset again, and now we can listen to the sound of our train of the class 150 of Great Western Railway. Shortly after Limestone Commando, we are also reaching Limestone Village, which is also quite beautiful. It's the only part where we are shortly leaving the waterline, but we also have some fantastic views from there. And then we are reaching Exmouth, the end of the line. There used to be a connection from Exmouth on to Fennerton, but that doesn't exist anymore. And of course I left the train here and took a short walk through the city center of Exmouth, heading to the beach and then back to the railway station to take a later train back to Exeter. Here we can see a nice little park, and then we are getting closer to the beach. Unfortunately, I was a little bit late for the sunset at the beach. That would have been probably a bit more beautiful, but as you can see, Exmouth is directly at the coastline, so here we have a proper sand beach, which is quite nice. And from here I'm now walking through the city center back to the station of Exmouth. And on my way I also saw this squirrel. Exmouth is a little bit bigger than Oakhampton, so of course the city also has a lot to offer. Quite a few shops here, also a lot of nice buildings to see. And of course the railway line itself is absolutely worth seeing, so I can highly recommend going there, especially during sunset just like I did. And now we're in the city center, and after that we're reaching the station, and there we can take a look at the arrival of my next train. So now we're heading back with a class 165. I've already seen the interior now quite a few times in my videos. Now we're gonna enjoy the beautiful landscape here in the Exmouth estuary once again. Now it's looking completely different as the sun has already set a few minutes ago, so we have different lighting. Looks also very, very beautiful. So this railway line is always beautiful. It's important for different reasons. It's important as a touristic train line. It's important for Exmouth, of course, and the cities in between, but it's also important because it also has quite a big amount of stations in Exeter serving the suburban areas. Here we can see Limston village once again, a bit better, as you can see, also looking very, very beautiful, this small village. Of course, it also has a station here on the line, and then we're continue to follow the water, and I will now let you enjoy this beautiful view for a couple of minutes. So as you can see, it's now already dark outside and we're now slowly approaching Exeter Central, where I'm leaving the train, and then I'm walking through the beautiful illuminated city of Exeter. As I filmed this video in December, there were a lot of Christmas decorations, and then it was finally time to go into my room in the Hotel Indigo, and as you can see, the room is looking fantastic. Very, very beautiful hotel room. I love the design. Also the bathroom is looking fantastic, so I really love the design, and I can highly recommend staying in the Hotel Indigo when you're in the area of Exeter. As the hotel is right at the heart of the city, of course it was no problem to find something to eat in the evening, and I went again for Nando's. As we don't have Nando's in Germany, I'm always going there when I'm in the UK. And after that I went to sleep, and on the next day we will see another railway line here in the region. Here you can see when this video will be uploaded and the name of the song. As always, I'd like to say thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to comment, like, subscribe or share the video link, and I hope to see you in my next video then.